Hi, guys. Hi. According to timeanddate.com, it is 9:36 p.m. Today is Wednesday, the 16th of July. You're listening to Dearest Diamond, a Diamond's memoir. My name is Diamond. We have a guest, so yeah, she has to introduce herself, and then we're going to say that you're welcome together. But yeah, you're already welcome. But then today I have someone whom I don't know, I like her. I hope she likes me too. But yeah, she'll introduce herself. Thank you guys for coming back to the podcast. Have a great time.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Tina Ashiofu. And I'm quite excited and honored to be here. This is quite exciting for me. I'm like, ooh, yeah. What do I need to say about myself?
Okay, maybe we'll just. But Tina is. What's tell us like?
Okay, yeah.
Anything.
So okay, fine. Because I'm in bragging mode these days.
You're in what mode?
I'm in bragging mode.
Oh,
yeah.
See, I need to learn. I need to feed off bragging energy.
Yes.
Like, so
it's a new skill that I've been
like
honing.
So
I'm a registered psychologist. I'm also the founder and the owner of ILERA Psychological Services here in Calgary, Alberta.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for doing this with me. I know that I think we met a couple of weeks ago. I think I'll call it a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months ago.
Like less than 2 months ago.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, and then you're just in the room, and then suddenly I think you came to say hi, and then we just started talking. And then I know you had to choose between being my friend or being my therapist. What do you think Tina chose, guys?
I know, right? What a moment.
We start talking about it, and funny, I didn't even think that was a thing. Like, as a therapist, you have to think about, do I want this person as a client or as a friend?
Yes.
And then at some point we're like, and then you're like, yeah, we have to be friends. Let's just be friends.
Yeah,
and it's good. Thank you, because friendship is,
it's important. It's important
therapy.
too. There's a lot of therapists out there. It's harder to come by, people that you enjoy their energy, your vibe,
Sure.
and want to actually spend time to get to know and hone that relationship.
Fair.
So I'm like, there's 1,020,000 therapists.
Like,
there's
I'll
not a lot of
introduce
friends.
you to one. Yeah,
there's not a lot of diamonds. So yeah.
Thank you. No, I think that was really, really cool. And then just how things have gone. Like, adult friendships are weird. Like, not weird, but they just have a way of playing out where you have to be extra intentional. And then you invited me for that. Like, we were supposed to see. I don't know if did we? No. You were like, we were supposed to see and then meet up, and then you're like, oh, there's this party. Like, just show up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah. And then we meet up, and then you
Here
invited me out again. And then now you're here.
I've hacked the secrets to adult friendships. Have you seen children in playground? How did they go? Hi. Do you want to be my friend? Yes. Honestly, as adults, that's all we need to be doing.
Yeah.
When one is overthinking things and making it complex.
If the person doesn't want to play, no problem.
It's not by force.
Well, that's fair. I like that, actually. If you like me, fine, we get along. Me, I like you too, especially if we like each other. Why not? Exactly. If we don't like each other, we move.
We move. It's not a must.
I like it. Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, so as always on the podcast, we drink wine. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. A lot of times, like, my podcast is not like, it's not, we just share moments basically. So feel free, relax. Let's share a bottle of wine. I got you what you wanted because I asked. Do I usually do that? Yeah. I think I asked the guest one time and they said what they wanted, but then I ended up getting them something else because I was like, yeah, we don't do the hard liquor on here. It has to be wine.
It's wine. Yeah.
So today we have, Tina said she wanted a sweet red wine, and she was very particular, which I found very interesting. You were very particular about the particulars. I was like, it helped me because usually I go in and I pick based on like, oh, what looks
what you're
beautiful,
feeling.
And then you're like, get bodacious. So guys, you should sponsor this episode. We have ILERA on here. Like, do something with us. I didn't even ask if you drink. Like, do you drink?
I am the one that gave you the name of the wine.
What am I thinking? Diamond, how does your brain work? I like
If I don't drink, I'll be like, sorry,
yes.
I don't drink,
Fair. I don't know. I like this moments because, like, I don't know where we come from. I think we just pour a drink and we say something. We cheers. We are grateful. So whatever we want to say, what's coming to you right now?
we did talk about the land acknowledgement.
Yes, thank you for remembering. So please.
So, there's like the land acknowledgement that the government has written for us.
Okay.
But there's a place where I used to work, and I really like the way they did the land acknowledgement there because it was very, you make it personal.
Okay.
And it was very, the way what I liked about it is you make it personal, but it also honored the indigenous culture, because indigenous people, their culture is very grounded and rooted in nature and the land itself and connection to the land and to creator and things like that. So I would like to take this moment to just share gratitude. This summer has been frustrating for me, and particularly weather-wise, because I love summer. I love the sun. I love the temperature not being so cold. I love not having to wear layers. But this summer has been a struggle. It's been a hassle. And sometimes I think I've caught myself saying, oh, I hate the weather. I hate this. I hate that. But this moment it's allowing me to come back to that place where I'm like, what? I'm grateful that I'm alive and well and healthy to be able to connect with the land, to be able to experience the atmosphere. It's not by anything I've done. This is not the land of my ancestors. I am a visitor in this land. But it's also providing for me shelter. It's providing for me food. It's providing for me a home and a place to grow and to be who I am as a person, and to figure out and discover myself as a person. And so I'm grateful for that always and every day. And sometimes I forget it. But being here and being in Canada, being in Alberta, learning more about the indigenous people and their struggles and their culture. I have very good friends who are indigenous. I love them to death. They're one of my closest people, and I learn from them as well. They teach me so much. So being here is really just an honor to be able to share. To share in the land and learn from it.
Thank you for doing that. Yeah, I remember we talked about it, and I said, I think there's something I would like to incorporate. So cheers to that. Cheers to this land that we're living, and we will prosper in it.
Amen to that.
At least I learned somewhere that when you cheers, you drink before you drop the wine and continue talking. I think it's customary.
Yeah, right. It is. It really is.
Yes. So okay, but just and kind of trying to go with that, flowing with that. Like, you moved. You said about almost 20 years ago.
It'll be 20 years next year, September 17.
And I'm sure it's been a whole thing. Like, you've come from whoever you were when you moved to being this businesswoman. Like, you're trying to build a whole business and like build a whole identity. And just you've come through all that. Like, what's it been like? How are you finding it?
If I want to say, even if it's like 20-year-old me, if she saw me here today, she would be like, are you for real? Yeah, because in my head, I was always gonna just go to school and get a job for somebody and just work for them, and I was just gonna face my fronts and not really do too much. I think for me anyway, growing up here, our parents and a lot of us that've been here for so long, our parents have come here and all they've taught us is, go to school, get a job. Once you get a job, you'll be fine. Well, they did not realize that formula worked for them, but it's not working for us. My mom is an entrepreneur. She tells me she used to be a tailor. She used to own shop. She used to cook. She used to do hairdressing. She had so many businesses in Nigeria. And then she comes here, and then because of the way the environment here is, became more focused on getting a job. And that's what, she passed on to us as well. So learning to be an entrepreneur even I didn't even have well, at least I didn't think I had the entrepreneurial mindset in the first place. But you know, we're here now. We're keeping on.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Are you finding that, you know, with like you deal with people every day, do you find that the people that you kind of deal with, do you deal with more with like people who have just moved, or do you deal with people, or do you find that your clients are more like people who kind of were born here, have spent most of their time here?
A spectrum, all of the above. You know, if it's people who were raised here, and when I speak, well, I guess when I speak more for the BIPOC population, you know, Black, Indigenous, and people of color that I work with, if it's people who've been born here, I've worked with clients who they're bicultural in nature. So again, I use me as an example. I was raised in a Nigerian home, but lived in a Canadian society.
Okay.
So it tends to like impact cultural identity. So if that's like people who've been born here, that tends to be like where our work tend to lean towards. If it's people who just moved here, it's unlearning mindsets that were not healthy for them before. It helped them survive in that environment previously, but now they're in a different world, in a different environment, and it's no longer serving them, right? The example I like to use is if a bear is chasing you, and you run, that's how you save your life, right? But if the bear is not chasing you,
now
you're still running like the bear is there. Well, I don't know.
Fair.
Right? So
that's actually very interesting. But no, and you have you found that you've had to heal certain parts of you to do better at what you do?
Oh, for sure. And it's still the journey never ends, right? You still continue to put in the work. You still continue to learn and to heal. So yeah, I had to go to therapy myself to be able, for different reasons. I mean, I had some issues there, you know. But more than that is, you know, I want to say I went to get a better understanding of who I am as a person and what's led me to some of the choices I used to make. And I still make some of them, don't get me wrong. But now I make them knowing that, okay, it's not the best choice, Tina, but
you're more aware.
Yes, I'm more aware, right?
You gave me this book. Maybe you should talk to a therapist. And yeah, that party at your house was actually really cool. It was interesting. Like, usually I'm a more alive person in settings like that. But I don't know, I was just taking it all in. And
it was a lot.
I found
my family's a lot. There's a lot of us.
I didn't mind, actually. I didn't mind. I was just surprised, like, okay, this is not the crowd I was expecting, but I didn't mind it at all. It was actually interesting.
It wasn't the party I was expecting either.
But yeah, and then I found myself in the corner, like I just going through like books that you had, and I saw this, maybe you should talk to a therapist book. Yeah. And I started to read it a little bit, and then like, you know, she's talking about how she also had to, like, you know, she found herself at a point where she needed to see someone. And then she's also like going through a couple of her clients saying how one person maybe like sees everyone else as the problem. One person is like very evasive. The other person is like, you know, a little bit more in touch with their emotions, but then, you know, life is just beating at them. And so it's like different people doing different things. And then in all of that chaos, she also, you know, she's having something that she's having to work through, and she's seeing someone. So it kind of like is an eye opener, and it's just like, therapy is a buzzword these days, right? It's like, it's become more, mainstream and more like healthy, I would say. It's like it's become more something that people are like, oh, okay, it's healthy for me to actually go to therapy and like get my mind right.
It's been more acceptable.
Like, exactly. And so I just reading it kind of like, especially because maybe I should talk to someone.
Maybe you should talk to someone.
Know, in real life.
Yes. I think everyone should talk to someone. I think everyone should talk to a therapist. And I think the misconception, especially in our community, is something has to be wrong with you for you to talk to someone. But I think there's something wrong with every one of us anyway. But realistically, I think that the benefit of talking to someone is having an unbiased person give you different perspective of your life, because you tend to surround yourself with people who are like-minded as same, who are like-minded. And it's not a conscious thing. It's just a thing that happens. So going to speak to somebody who can look from the outside and look inward, and they will call you out. They'll be like, you're saying this, but then you're doing this, and it's not your actions and your thoughts, they're not, and your words, they're not aligning. What's going on there?
Especially when she was talking about, like, she kept trying to, she wanted the therapist to tell her how boyfriend was the bad person and he was the shitty person. And the guy's just like, okay, aren't you tired of suffering? Like, you already know, like, you've told me all of these things, and you've even deduced that, you should have seen it ahead of time. But you're just, and you want to sit in the suffering and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like she began to, like, okay, maybe accept it a little bit, and all the things that we run away from and stuff.
And it's easier for us to say other people are the problem. And don't get me wrong, maybe other people are the problem. But in any situation, we have our own role that we're playing in it. If someone is sitting down yelling at me, my choice in that moment is I can either sit down and yell back at them, I can sit down and shut up and take it, or I can walk away. But I do have a choice. But it's easier for me to say, but you're yelling at me, and then you're doing this, and then you're doing that. But then if I put that mirror in front of me and I'm able to say, oh, I could have walked away. I could have yelled back. I could have just not said anything. I could have not engaged. There's so many choices that I could have made. That's how you start to gain back your power, I think.
Take accountability for your own. I told someone recently that if I do go to therapy, which I should, I don't want to go there to figure out why someone else messed me up, right? I want to go there to figure out my role in my own suffering.
And they work hand in hand. No, but they do work hand in hand.
Okay.
Right? No, they do work hand in hand. Figuring out why somebody else messed you up. Absolutely.
Okay.
But also figuring out your role in that situation, because the answer is the same answer at the end of the day.
Actually, yeah. No, well, there's parts of the answer where the other person is just a terrible human being, for sure.
You see, no. Let me say, the curse and the blessing of being a therapist and working with people and being the way I say it, I'm a collector of stories. I love that part. It's hard for me to see someone and say you're a terrible person, because now I have to be like, what were your experiences? Where did you learn to be who you are? Who raised you? That's my first question. Who raised you? And what did they teach you? So yes, I can say, I think it's hard for me to say people are terrible people. Some people I will say, but but most people are like, you're doing terrible things and you're making terrible choices and things like that.
They say hurt people, right? So
that shit is so real.
And I hear you, because as I read something and I kind of related to it. Someone was saying how, as an empath, as much as you're like, you're pissed at the person, you just still know that they have a perspective. They have where they're coming from. They have their story, something that they're experiencing that's making them react or something. And as much as you know that, you're still like, but we give grace where we can. And we grow.
Exactly.
But so we should play a game at this point, right? Okay. There's something that I was just like, okay, thinking. So tell me, you tell me, I'll give you scenarios and you'd be like, oh, should this person talk to a therapist? Or is this like a homegirl, let's sit down, drink wine, and
let me give you the real?
Exactly. And if you feel free to get into details if you want to. But
it sounds like a plan.
Okay, so the first scenario is, I keep checking my ex's new girl's Instagram like it's a job, despite that I'm no longer that into him.
Like, why are you checking? Is it like just out of curiosity? Or is it like, are you checking to be comparing yourself? If you're checking to be comparing yourself, then you should definitely go talk to somebody, because I'm sensing some self-esteem, some self-value issues there. But sometimes we're human too. We're just curious, I'm like,
who's even this person?
Yes, who's this
Like,
human being?
She even better than me.
See, if you're saying she better than me,
that's definitely go see someone.
Yes.
So well, at what point is it okay, if it's just like, oh, let me even just see, maybe it's a homegirl conversation. Like,
if it's wait, you said that you're checking like a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should go and talk to somebody. You should go and talk to somebody.
Yeah, it's like you're now like,
what?
what's that guy in You? What's his name? Joe?
Who?
Do you watch You? The seasonal movie?
No.
Oh, okay, the one with the guy who was like a stalker guy, but he was also a lover boy.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
He read books, and he was also like a mindful individual.
Yeah,
but
no,
he was also
okay.
a
It was also a killer. Nah. No, you should talk to someone, because if it's not even your ex that you're checking. It's like his new girl. Like, no, stop it. Why?
Aww.
What's that bringing up for you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there's maybe some unresolved issues there for you. Well, for the person anyway. Yeah.
Okay. No, trust me, these are scenario based, but maybe we'll see. Okay, so another one says, my mom calls me 6 times a day and I answer every time. I'm exhausted.
Don't know how to turn off your phone.
Therapy or homegirl situation?
Let's see. Therapy or homegirl? Your mom's calling you. I mean, what's the difference between therapy and homegirl? Is
friendship is actually like free therapy after all, right?
No, somewhat. But yeah, to a certain extent, yes. Let's see. I think this is homegirl. It's hard to answer that one. If it's homegirl, it depends on who your friend is. If they're gonna tell you, and they're gonna tell you, yeah, your mom's got, that's a little bit weird. It's a little bit too much. You need to cut it down. Then yeah. But relationship between, and I'm assuming this is a daughter and mother. Relationship between mother and daughter it can be so tenuous sometimes, and again, that's why I say the curse of being a therapist. I'm thinking of all the other things. Yes, like, is she the first daughter? Is she the only daughter? Is she, like, all of that actually make...
Can I give my humble opinion?
Yes.
Whether she's the only child, don't call me 6 times a day. Why are you calling me 6 times a day?
No, I'm not saying it's healthy. It's definitely not healthy, But what I'm saying is, a homegirl situation, if it's my friend, I'm like, yeah, like, I'm pretty sure you can turn off your phone. But if there's a lot more to it than just not answer, like 6 times, don't answer. Because say, mom, I'm going to answer once. If there's a lot more to it than just that, then that's where the therapist comes in, and it's like, okay, let's unpack. What's going on? What's in this relationship with you and your mother?
I read something about presenting cases in this book, and it's funny how I'm sure from that, like, you get into a lot of different things, like you unravel. So I'm just thinking, like, because you're saying this, like, that might not be someone's initial reason they go to therapy. I wouldn't go to therapy because my mom's calling me 6 times a day.
Because sometimes you don't even realize it's a problem.
Fair. So it might just be something like, you go for a different reason, and then you bring this up, and the person's like, tell me more about your relationship with your mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, that's when I talk to clients, I say therapy is kind of like that, because sometimes, like you just said, maybe the client has come in and said, oh, I'm so sad. I just broke up with my boyfriend and we're dating for so many years. As a therapist, the way I see it is, when you get like a ball of yarn that's all tangled up, and the client has come and said, here's my ball of yarn, untangle it. And then I have to start like asking the questions and getting the story to find that, like, that part that's gonna then allow everything else to unravel. Right? So it's like investigation. It's like, okay, tell me more. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing your stories.
That's why I was asking, like, how, like, what's the length of time you did? And you're like, a year. I'm like, okay, that makes sense, right? Because there must be a lot.
Oh, for therapy?
Yeah.
It depends. I've had clients that after like 6, 7, 8 sessions, they're like, because personally, I don't believe that therapy needs to be it doesn't need to be a lifelong something. It can be, how can I say, not lifelong, like every week I'm seeing a therapist. It's good to have it as a lifelong, like, tool that you can always access, but you don't need to be in therapy every week for the rest of your life. Right?
Fair.
So if a client comes and said, this is what they want to work on, we work on it. And at some point I'm like, you know what? You sound like you have the hang of it. Go. It's like a kid with training wheels, right? That's okay. It's time to take off your training wheels, go out into the world, use the skills that you've learned. And if anything new comes up in that journey, then come back. So I have clients who've come back like a year later. They're like, okay, so new issue. Something new has come up. I want to work on something new. And then you go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Last one, therapist or homegirl. My friends are all growing fast, getting married, launching businesses. I feel left behind. Anyway, if you're feeling left behind with your friends, then you obviously wouldn't be talking to them because you can't like tell them that. Oh, I feel.
See, that's a homegirl issue because I'm gonna look at homegirl and be like, okay, so what's stopping you?
What do I need to?
No, what's stopping you? If I'm the one who's doing business and you're feeling left out, what is stopping you? That means you have access to the resources, meaning if your friends are doing all of these things, they have the knowledge.
Okay.
So what's stopping you from saying, hey, Diamond, I see you're doing ABCD and I'm interested. Can you teach me more? I'd like to.
What if I don't want to do the thing that they're doing? What if I haven't just found the thing that I want to do and it just, like, like people are doing different things, right? And what if I just don't? And like I said, this is a very scenario based, but whatever. But yeah, I'm just like thinking, what if the thing that their friends are doing is not what
what they're interested in? Well, then that's why I'd say, if I put my therapist hat on, that's why I'd say it sounds like is it a dissonance now? No. It's like it's like what you want. So the question is, what do you really, truly want? Because if you truly, truly say, okay, yeah, I don't want this, then a good part of you would be satisfied with where you're at. And like, oh yeah, and then people are doing all that, but that is not for me at all. So I'm content here. But what it's sounding like is there's another part that really wants to do more, but there's probably like a fear there, or I don't think I can do it.
I think the things it's a growing fast, getting married, right? I can't marry myself, so that part there's
a lot. There's some things you just gotta accept. Okay, say you said getting married. If you truly want to get married, what are things you're doing? Are you sitting down in your house expecting your husband to come and knock on your door? I mean, but fun fact, my two very closest friends, they found their husbands in the house.
So,
like
you see,
and
people do be
it
doing
happens.
That.
It do be
See?
like two of my friends,
amazing,
literally
stuff.
just sitting down in their house, and that's how they found their husbands. So it do be happening, but realistically, if that's your goal, what are you doing to put yourself out there?
Yeah. So, but what this says to me is that so many, like, do you think this is something someone will stand up and say, oh, I want to go talk to someone about? And which brings me to just like, conclusion stuff like, at the end, at what point would you say maybe you should talk to someone?
When it's really interfering with your quality of life.
In what areas? Like quality of life?
All areas. When you're not sleeping, when you're not eating, when your relationship with people is deteriorating, when you're anxious all the time, when you're sad and to do the smallest thing becomes so hard for you, when maybe whatever it is you're thinking about it all the time, when it's bringing down your self-esteem or how you value yourself. I would say at that point, then you would definitely need to talk to someone. Or when you're thinking suicidal, maybe it's just going to be easier if I'm not in this world anymore. Yeah.
Okay. No. I think that's great. Like, that's a good answer. I don't know how to say, but yeah, that resonates so sure. And thank you so much for being here. I've enjoyed this conversation. As much as, we talked about things just going, I hope you've enjoyed talking with me too.
Yes.
Tell us more about ILERA before we go. Like, what's ILERA? How did it come to be? What do you do? How do you want to help people? How do you want people to connect with you?
Absolutely. I can talk about ILERA for days.
Okay.
But ILERA is a private practice here in Calgary. I named my practice ILERA because, I was trying to name my practice. And my mom was like, oh, name it something. Name it like, I don't know, sunshine and rainbows. And I'm like, no, thank you. I want a name that resonates with the people I want to. I see everyone, don't get me wrong, but there is a particular set of people I want to see, which is my community. I want my community to be able to see it and be like, you know what? I recognize that name. Almost like a beacon, It's like, oh, okay, that bat signal. That, okay, this might be somebody who I don't need to over explain. This is somebody who I can resonate with. So that's ILERA for you, ILERA Loro, which is a Yoruba word that means health is wealth. Yes. So my goal is, so what some of the work I do individual therapy, family counseling, couples counseling, psychological assessments. So like ADHD, autism, psychoeds, assessment for just really anyone. I decided to get trained in everything that I can because there's not a lot of people who are doing that work.
Amazing.
And my goal is to let the community know that it's okay to seek therapy. It's okay to talk to someone. And I know it's still a long way because people are still not even going to the doctors for their checkups.
True.
So
and even when they're sometimes even experiencing pain. It's
yes. And they're still not doing that. So I know avoidance is a big part of the community. But for me is being able to have that platform to educate people that therapy is okay. This is demystify therapy as well. Not just, okay, come to therapy, but this is actually what therapy is like. Don't worry, we're not going to do what you don't want to do, but I'm going to give you tools to learn how to survive life. So that's really my goal ultimately is healing the community one soul at a time.
Yeah, and you said ILERA is more like, it means wellness, if anything. So it's like, come and be well, come and, heal.
Yeah, come and heal. Yeah, and you don't have to do it alone. You don't got to figure it out all by yourself.
Healing, such a huge word.
So
but it's also such a beautiful space to be in, just knowing that that's okay.
Yeah,
I'm going through this. I'm healing.
It's a journey.
But thank you so much. Thank you for doing this with me. And before we go, we do affirmations. What are you affirming to yourself? What are you saying? I always think that different phases in our lives bring us to different conclusions, different things that we just were saying to take us through. I skipped something though. Before we get here, we are always grateful, right? I know we've said a lot of things, but usually it'll be 10 things we're grateful for. We can do it like speed dating. So, 10 things, you go first. One thing you're grateful for.
I'm grateful for my family.
Family,
yes.
Great. I'm grateful for this moment.
Nice. I'm grateful for my friends.
Okay, I am grateful for my outfit. I think I look sweet. I like it.
You look gorgeous. I love it, I'm grateful for my tenacity.
I am grateful for where I'm at with my career. Yeah.
I'm grateful for my business.
Amazing. I am grateful for my mom. Yeah, I'm grateful for her presence.
Yeah. I'm grateful for life in general. I'm just grateful.
I am grateful for the ability to read.
Nice.
Just take myself out of the moment sometimes and put myself into another moment.
Ooh, I'm grateful.
Books of lessons.
Nice. I am grateful for my voracious mind.
Voracious. What does that mean to you?
I always wanted to learn, always wanted to consume as much knowledge as I can.
Okay.
So it's voracious.
Amazing. Okay, so getting back to affirmations, what do you say to yourself? Just tell my people something to take along with themselves, even before we get to the next podcast. So, what is something that you're saying to yourself?
So what I say to myself every day is, Tina, you are doing the best that you can. So in this very moment, I'm doing the best that I can. And even if I feel like I should do more, I just remind myself, okay, Tina, you're just doing the best that you can, and that's okay. This is all you can do in this moment. And we're going to take this moment and next moment by moment.
And we put our best foot forward always.
Exactly.
I'm doing the best that I can.
I'm doing the best that I can.
And you say it until it's true, until you believe it.
No, it's true. I believe it.
Until you believe, yeah. I mean, sometimes even when we say these things, it might not look like it. We might still be. You say things
having
until you
doubt.
begin to. Yeah, exactly. So it's like.
Yeah, I think I've said it enough that the moment I say it, my body's like, oh yeah, we're resetting.
Readjust. I like that.
I've created
guys,
that
take that with you.
pathway.
No, I should. Honestly, even when you're having those cringe moments where we talked about those cringe moments where it's maybe I shouldn't have done that. Breathe. It's like the best that I can.
It's the best I can.
Diamond.
If I could do more, I would do more. But man, I ain't got the energy for it. So it's okay.
I like that. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for
having me. I'm on Instagram. I kind of have a TikTok account. It's growing. At ilera.ca.
And ILERA is spelled
ILERA.ca. Yes, on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I also have my website as well, which is ilera.ca as well.
Oh, nice. I like
Yeah.
that. Thanks for representing us brown girls in that space. Honestly, it's really good to see.
Oh, thank you so
It's
much.
good to see.
This is why
the
I'm doing the work.
representation is needed, and we appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.